Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, I thought we'd talk about dating. Let's talk about red flags. Let's talk about those little things that actually do make the difference and that actually save us a lot of time. So if you are here to look after some kind of partnership where you can stay in for the longer run, if you are ready to commit, if you are ready to give it all, right? If you are ready to stand in your truth and show up for yourself, then this is the perfect video to look into. My name is Patricia, I'm a life coach, and this is exactly what we do here, right? We are sharing some content that helps to bring the awareness more into your life so that you can actually start to create the life you really want. And if you are now saying, okay, well, I need even further coaching and I really want to do this on a long-term relationship, the shortest one you can do with me is 3 months. So this is a project and an investment in yourself. So then you can do that. Have a look into the description box. You can book there directly a discovery call where we will look into all the details, and obviously more of this you will see on my website as well. Now let's really go into dating, right? Can be quite frustrating. So there are people actually who ask me, like, you know, I've been on so many dating and it's all the time the same. Like, I all the time meet the same kind of guy, or the same kind of woman. I kind of feel like it's not changing. So kind of like I have to live with what is offered, right? If you are at this stage where you're just like, well, you know, just is the way it is. Like, I just have to go with what is in front of me and that's it. I believe there is quite an interesting opportunity for you here, which is about getting to know yourself. Okay, because on the when we are really looking into with whom you have the longest relationship, then this is clearly with you, right? So if the relationship to me is not clear, it's not straightforward, I don't really know what I want. Do I want a commitment? Do I want this? Do I want that? Then it's getting difficult, right? It's getting difficult because I will not even receive an answer from myself if I want that or not. So the question itself, before we go on any date, before we are doing anything of that, is understanding, what do we want? Do we actually want a relationship? Are we committed to have that? Do we really want to commit to another person, right? It's not really so much about the person itself on who is showing up right now. It's about the agreement that you actually have with another person. Is this something you're looking for at all, right? So let's leave out the person in general. Let's rather say, like, are you ready to share your life with someone else? Are you ready to talk about your goals? Are you ready to have goals together? Are you ready to be an individual? Then there's your partner and the kind of relationship you have together. And are you ready to work on that relationship and also on individually on yourself to create this kind of relationship you're looking for, right? This kind of, in my point of view, this kind of sacred relationship where you can share and be open, be vulnerable, and share who you truly are, right? So there are many people who say, like, yes, I'm ready. This is really what I want, right? I want to commit. I want to be open. But then I meet all the time those kind of weird people who don't want to commit, who don't want what I want, right? I believe there is this one really important thing that we need to look into. If we are attracted to those kind of people, right? If we are attracted to people who never want to commit, who are never clear in their talking, who who avoid kind of conversations, right? Who tend to let you down, who are not showing up for themselves and also not for you. You gotta question yourself, what is this reflecting back on you? Always, always, always use this as an opportunity. Use this as maybe there is something holding me back to really commit. Maybe there is something in place that actually makes me shrink myself, makes me not wanting to show up. What is that, right? What is that is not willing to show up for me, right? What is this inside part that doesn't want to show up? So another important aspect is raising questions, my friend. Raising questions, so important. It's actually, I believe doing small talk in a dating is, I would say, go through the real bones, man. I mean, really, really ask the questions, right? Ask questions like, so what did you learn from your past relationships? Where did you struggle, right? Tell me about your communication. Like, how do you communicate? Like, what works for you? Tell me how you receive love. Tell me how you are showing up in your life. And now you can say, yeah, but we are not really close to all those questions, those hard questions, right? Well, if they are not showing up and if they're not willing to at least try to answer those kind of hard questions, then you may as well kind of think like, okay, maybe it doesn't work with us. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time with someone who is not ready to say like, listen, you're really making me insecure right now. I have never had someone who actually raised that kind of question to me. I may need some time to actually find the answer. How about I think about it and we speak about it the next time? You see how people are starting to interact when you kind of push them in one direction, and you see how they respond to you. Are they willing and open to share? If not, it might be actually a red flag, right? If they're not willing to open up, and it actually goes in the direction of you too, right? If you're not willing to really openly share and to say like, listen, this has worked in my past relationships, this is what I currently want, and this is kind of the area where I feel really insecure, and I do need some kind of understanding from your side that I may not show up the way I really want, or the way I'm looking to be at this moment. I'm giving my very best, blah blah blah, whatsoever, right? However that may look like. Now this is quite in the awareness, right? I mean, this is quite, I wouldn't say in your face, but it's quite like, show me who you are. Like, I don't care if you have any struggle, because I know I have struggles. I know you have struggles. But before we dive into anything, I want you to be aware of your struggles. That's actually initially why you ask. You want to know, is that person doing that work? Is that person making everything possible to make himself happy? Because I'm not responsible for their happiness. But I'm responsible for my own happiness. I'm responsible for my own emotions. I'm responsible for my reactions. I'm responsible for the way I think. Right? So if you are on this path, and if you have been following me for a time, right, you understand that those questions are essential, because they show you right away, is that person doing that work? Is that person putting in everything they can to show up? If they cannot show up for themselves, they will not be able to show up for you. They will not be able to show up for you as a couple, okay? It's not gonna work. So you gotta be very, very clear how this is going to look like. Now I want to share some really red flags. And I've got a couple based on own experiences and based on clients who were trying to overcome certain traits they were following while dating. Number one is very, very, very important. If you're talking with that person and they start to shame, guilt you, they kind of put your self-worth down. If they start to somehow diminish who you are, if they are also kind of speaking from other people in a very negative way, if they are very judgmental, okay, you gotta watch those kind of red flags, because they show that they are not standing in their full truth. That's not how someone would actually show up being emotionally mature. They wouldn't even care for that, right? So watch out for that. Watch out how they're actually treating the people who serves you, right? The bartender, whatsoever, people who bring you food. Watch how they treat them, because that is ultimately what really makes someone special. See, you want him or her that they are treating people nice and kind and well and soft, having the boundaries ready and set, right? You want someone who is strong like a tree, right? Someone with a lot of groundingness. At least that's what I would look for. So you got to be very, very clear what is important to you, and then go accordingly. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is, many people go out and they say like, well, I didn't feel really the sexual energy, right? I didn't really feel attracted to that person. And I believe this one is quite dangerous, because sexual attraction is not necessarily what makes a great partnership for the long run. Yes, you may be able to have fun with that person, but on the commitment side, looking out for, am I attracted to that person? Am I feeling sexually attached or attracted, or is there something coming? And if you don't, you would never date that person again. I believe the more we are looking out for that, the more we are putting ourselves into old ways of thinking, right? I know this from myself. Like, I never dated anyone who was actually I wasn't attracted to. And I started to realize that that was the approach that usually brought me into very difficult situations, because see, being sexually attracted to someone doesn't actually mean that you have the same values, that you have the same standards, that you want to show up in the world the same way. It is just a physical attraction, right? But it has nothing to do with who you really are. And so I believe looking out for attraction may be the wrong thing to do. So I would really put this as a red signal, a red flag, if you see that you are attracted to this person. And mainly it's actually because of their appearance, because they look really good, because they have a good job, because they I don't know, something in that direction. Be very curious and start to look into why you really find this person attractive, right? Is this person just giving you kind of safety? Is this person showing up strong? Like, what is it that makes you attracted? And then start to look into what story is it that you create behind all of that, right? Because usually there is a story we tell ourselves, oh, this person can do this and this and this for me. And because of this, this, and this, I feel safe. Or I feel sexually attracted to this person. And it must be good, right? Because my body knows, right? Something like this. And it's true, your body knows, but your body is not necessarily aware whether this is something for the longer run. But right now it feels kind of good, right? So you gotta understand, if you have been dating for a while, then you start to see what are your traits. How do you meet people? And if you meet them, how do you behave? What is your general behavior style? You will know. And that behavior style may need to change, right? You may need to be more secure to actually start dating, because you're not showing up as the true you. You're showing up as the person you think you need to be in order to, I don't know, go on a date, right? Find another, your other side, your other half. Another major red flag is if that person is telling you after the first date, we are soulmates. We are definitely soulmates. I've never met anyone who is so perfect like you. You're fantastic. And they kind of get into the state where, and by the way, this goes also back to you, if you feel that this is the one. And the next time you meet another guy or another girl, you're like, this is definitely the one. No. This is the one. If you're telling this every single time after you dated someone, then you are kind of looking out for the story, right? Looking out for this forever after kind of story. Like, finally I found someone, right? Finally I found the one. Very, very dangerous, because we haven't really seen who they are. They may show up as something that looks quite good or feels quite good whatsoever, but you don't really know that person yet. So making those kind of decisions, and you're already creating a story around it, that this person is really it. This person is the one. They are showing up as the one. Quite dangerous, especially if they really are telling you that they have never met anyone like you. You're the perfect match whatsoever. And they start to be really attached to you. They start to send you daily texts. They start to really get close to you. But within a really short time, they've met you once or twice. And you kind of feel like you're already in a relationship where you're like, hold on a second. Like, you know what I mean? Too fast, too soon is a major red flag, just because they would do what they do with you with someone else. So just because right now the feeling is good doesn't mean that you know that person. So here as well, protect yourself. Protect yourself, because you don't know what they're hiding. You don't know what are their darker side they haven't showed you. You don't know. So you have to figure that out on the way, right? On the way, you're figuring this out. This is why dating is so important. So you're dating and you're meeting this person, and then you start to get to know each other, and you don't just go all the way crazy, right? And it's good if you're dating, but also, this is an additional red flag. If you do want to date on an exclusive basis, right? Then you got to talk about it. If the person then tells you, yeah, I don't know, and you're then like, okay, I'll go with that, but actually you do want exclusive, you may start to think to take off your hands. You see, again, trust your inner gut. If that person is not showing up for you, for this relationship, for this kind of dating relationship, right? Which is quite open, and that's okay. It's really about that you know where you stand. So if someone is letting you flow, like, and you would actually like to hear what is going on, and you don't receive really a clear instruction, a clear guidance, right? Then that person is not really clear in his or her communication. And you gotta question yourself if this is worth your time. You know my answer. My answer would be, either way, you talk clearly and you tell me what's going on, or I'm out. Simply because we are not chasing. I'm not the cat and you're the mouse and we are chasing each other. That's kind of boring, man. That's so boring. I want to know where I stand. I want to know where to go, right? I actually have implemented this in business. I have implemented this in any relationship. So yes, we are talking about dating, but we are also talking about, generally meeting people, right? I want to know where I'm at. So if the communication style you have is like, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're stabbing me in the back at one point. I might not show up, you know what I mean? So you gotta be very, very honest with yourself. Where do you stand? And is this something that you really want to ignore? Because those red flags in the beginning, they will show up later. They always have, and we just pretend they were never there. And we just saw it after like 10 years, but we saw them before. And this is the trick, okay? Catch yourself in the beginning. Start to realize that there is no such thing as I'm going to change that person. I'm going to help this person heal his massive trauma or her massive trauma. You see, if they are not doing this work, if they are not sitting down, if they are not raising their awareness towards to what is going on in their life, they will not do it even if you're there. That's not the point. The point is, can you do it by yourself? Are you actually willing to show up for yourself? And the reason why you're doing all of this is to protect yourself as well, right? Because you see, you have to understand that you don't need to go through every single crap, right? You don't. You have been maybe, or most of us have, through a certain amount of crap. At one point, we have to ensure that we are staying open, that we are staying kind, that our heart is there on the right spot, that we know who we are, that we show up as who we are, that we start to speak clearly, and that we are actually looking with other people, hey, I'm standing here. I would like this. How about you? Would you like this too? Great. Let's make this together work, right? If not, that's okay. Because you're saving yourself some time. But shh. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments section. I actually want to know. Maybe you can share a few dating stories. I would really like to hear. What has been dating stories where you're really like, this was really, really good. Like, and these were my learnings. I may never do again. I will make sure that I'm communicating different, that I'm not dealing with such a person again who has, I don't know, narcissistic traits maybe. Share. And what was your aha in this video, right? Let me know in the comment section down below. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe because, right now we are doing quite often talks like this and I really enjoy and I hope you too. So with this said, thanks so much and I see you another time. Bye bye.